And we are live, John. We've made it back.
I know, a bit of a hiatus, but
what
I was off
episode
playing
is
Magic
this?
for a Monday night.
This is
I was
number
feeling
five. Number five deck we'll put together now. I think.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay, that's pretty cool. We're gonna creep towards the double digits. Who are we putting together tonight?
I hate pronouncing this. Is
I
it
can give it a
Arna?
shot.
Is it Kennerüd? Kennerüd?
Kennerüd is, I think,
Skycaptain.
how I'd pronounce it, but I mean, I'm not German.
Yeah,
That's an umlaut over the U there.
yeah. It's 2 and Esper, and it's flying lifelink. It's a legendary human knight. As one with discard a card. It's not what we're interested in, really. It's whenever a modified creature you control attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. And for each non-token permanent attached to it, create a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature.
Okay, so we were almost going to have the full conversation before we got in here.
Yeah, we started, didn't we?
What do you think is more important with it?
Oh, I mean, it lends itself to auras and equipment, doesn't it? Basically, but I've got equipment, but I've got a slightly different route with the equipment, and the other side of it is getting the counters, giving stuff everything +1 counters, or it's the colours as well for things like indestructible flying counters, or. But you really want the shield, don't you, or indestructible counters if you're going to put counters on, not just +1s, because the others are a bit mute, aren't they? A creature with 10 flying counters on it's not 10 times better at flying, is it? So,
well, what I was thinking almost make this like a bit of an overreach in speed. So for example, if I pop a 0 equip or a 1 equip, 1 cost on Kennerüd here, Arna, and it gets duplicated once or twice, or whichever creature it gets duplicated on, right? It gets duplicated once or twice.
yeah.
I then have 2 or 3 of those equipments that I can equip for 0 or 1. So they're kind of stay a fail-safe versus most kind of board wipes or target removals or things like that, right? So what I kept in mind for me was I went equipment, but I went like all like one drop, no drop equipment.
Okay, so I did go equipment. A few auras for me. The mainstay what I went with was the living weapons.
Okay.
So if you can come into the battlefield, it creates that germ token, then it equips to the germ token.
Right.
But when you copy that equipment when it attacks, so then automatically those tokens or creatures are modified.
And so what I did on the creature side, though, is you've got living weapons that make you creature tokens. I went again with super low cost 1, 2, 3 drop creatures, but that when they ETB, they make counters.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So it was like I'm equipping equipment to creatures with counters around them already. Next turn I'm doubling up my counters, so most of the mana are with 2 counters. I'm doubling up to 4 counters, and I'm doubling the equipment. So hopefully by the turn after it strikes, I've got like a 6/6 modified creatures out there.
Yeah.
And most of them have cost me little to nothing to build on the board. So we'll mix it up. What do you think of the start we've got here on the Arca deck?
So
Again, I always plug in just super basic 10 of each land. You know, the stone signet, soul ring, command tower type stuff.
Yeah, gone with the usual. Let me have a look again. Sorry, I've just it signed me out and everything. It's not been. This is my fault. Completely unprepared for Architect tonight. I don't know why. Let's have a look. Collection. Here we go. I think it was fine because you sent me a screenshot, weren't it? So, usual. The only one I didn't really put in there was the obelisk of Esper. But
okay, I can remove that. I just put it in because it was there and it was 3 color.
I went with Decanter of Endless Water and Chromatic Lantern.
Okay. I'll pop. You want to pop those in? I'll drop out the obelisk.
Yeah.
Okay, I've dropped out the obelisk.
I love Decanter of Endless Water for its price and from Matt's.
So because they'll be doubling the counters. Oh, I gotta change my categories to type.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like it like this.
I've changed it back to type. So
the
first thing I think we could probably agree on is the protection equipment. So like the lava spur, the whisper silk, the whatever as part of the base package, then we can get into our 3 for 3.
Yeah, so I didn't actually bother with whisper silk, but it is good because it makes it unblockable, which is
most people know chromatic lantern. I think we've definitely run decanter before, but I'll pop it up here so people can kind of have a read on it.
Yeah,
no maximum hand size, tap for 1 color definitely helps because we're gonna need card draw in this. Super bad. So there, and then let's see, card search. We definitely need the lava spur.
Yeah. I think that's going to become a mainstay in most commander
it's already almost up near $2, man. Lava spur. Oh Jesus, Swiftfoot.
Yeah.
Swiftfoot boots. What's the other one? Lightning Greaves.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what else you put in. I mean, if you put in things like Whisper Silk in and things like that, you could probably drop Lightning Greaves, but then it's 0 to equip to another creature.
Right, that's the thing is because when you copy it, it's the 0 is what I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's too good to pass up on because it'll still be your turn. So now let's say you've made one more, you can just move it to a creature down the line that you're worried that's just popped off real big and you're worried about getting removed.
Yeah,
I think Lightning Greaves, even at the $5, are just too good not to include.
Yeah.
Whisper Silk. Whisper Silk. Okay. And then the good thing is they don't even have to make contact; they just have to attack. So those 3 are important. Let's see. Then you have a 3 for 3.
Kind of. I found it quite tough because I couldn't really pick one over the other. Really, it's just so one of them. Something I was looking at something to win the game, maybe, or to take out a player rather than just being massively big. So I went with. I'll put it in. You do realise, well, this isn't.
So for anybody watching this who doesn't know what a 3 for 3 is, each deck that we build, John and I get three card choices that the other can't veto, and each card has to be under $3. So right now we're exposing our. Oh, that's a $7 card there, Fireseas.
I've got it as. Oh, let's rechange. We'll fix that.
It might be the printing.
Yeah, because I've got it as 93 euros.
Okay, 93-cent euro.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where do I optimize printings? Cheapest show optimized. Overwrite 18 cards. Fireseas is then 74 cents. Yeah, you're under.
It must have been a foil or something.
Yeah, something crazy.
It's just it's a bit dirty, isn't it? But it gives you creatures infect.
Right.
So I mean, you can't move it about, but I do think it is quite good.
Okay.
Again, it's just a bit of a win con, isn't it, out the bat? Let's have a look. The other one, it's a bit of an alternate commander, maybe, but not. It's a creature.
Okay.
And it is Bruna. When it loads up, because I can't remember the full name. Light of Alabaster. So it is free. I mean, it's quite high costed mana wise, but it's a 5/5. But it's whenever it attacks or blocks, you may attach to it any number of auras on the battlefield. You may put onto the battlefield attached to it any number of aura cards that could enchant from your graveyard.
Okay.
Now I
looked at this, but the price, the mana cost scared me off.
Yeah. But when I've looked at it a second time, we're not really going auras, I don't think, so it might be a bit mute. So I always say it's 3 for 3 sort of thing, but yeah, when I think about it, I do this sometimes. I don't really like some cards after a bit.
Okay.
And the other one, it was just to get a bit of card draw, really. I went with...
Oh, don't tell me you've got the same robot I want in my...
I've got him, but I'm not going to use him as a 3 for 3. I went with SRAM.
So you are going to have the same robot I'm talking about on your list, but
I'm I've got SRAM Senior Edificer.
Okay.
It's just whenever you cast an aura equipment, spell draw card.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm tempted to drop Runa, but we'll go. We'll see. I know he's meant to be safe, but yeah, because when they originally built it, I had a lot more auras in here, built it on based on what I did with the aura deck with Zer.
Right.
But I don't think that's really going to work.
Okay. So my 3 under 3, I have Towashi Guide Bot. Is that the robot you were talking about?
No, I was thinking of Codsmith.
Guide Bot. I really like this card. I'd never seen it before. Here it is. It is a 4 cost, which I know is a bit high for... you had seen it or hadn't?
Well, I have seen this one, yeah. Okay. Kamigawa, isn't it?
When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then this was my one for card draw. It costs a 4 cost and tap for draw a card, but this ability costs 1 less for each modified creature you control. Yeah. And that's the ability we're going for, is to just tap draw a card, hopefully. And then if you've doubled up something to give it protection, you've got an extra card draw on board for 4 cents.
Yeah.
That I think is a good card, a good fit for this. My second one, and as they say in the memes for this card, shoddy thick. Do you know which card I'm talking about?
No.
No?
I don't think I've seen all these memes, no.
Goldberry River Daughter.
No.
This is from the Lord of the Rings set, so she's 1 in a blue. Legendary creature nymph. Tap to move a counter of each kind not on Goldberry River Daughter from another target permanent you control onto Goldberry River Daughter, which means you could move counters not just from other creatures, from another permanent. So if you had like a shield counter or something, or on something else, you could put it on her. Then there's the 1 and move 1 or more counters from Goldberry onto a target permanent you control if you do draw a card. So it also goes back to card draw and moving permanents or moving tokens. And then my last one is just a favorite of mine as a card. It's Hangerback Walker.
Yeah.
It's not amazing. It's not as good as the other 2, but it's a throwback to Rakdos for me. This card's always done good work for me. It survives board wipes by throwing stuff back out. It's XX cost, double X cost, artifact creature construct. Hangerback Walker enters the battlefield with X1/1 counters on it. When it dies, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter for each 1/1 it had, and with a 1 and a tap, you can add a 1/1 counter to it.
That's it. And even if you get it down early game, say for 4, the turn before, you command that's 2 counters. You attack the next turn, that's 4, and so on and so on, and 8, and then
so it's got it's got utility. But then I guess we kind of got to decide. I think we can go equipment and 1/1s, and 1/1 counters at the same. I think there's room for it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely your way. I think this time. Definitely.
I really think the cards for 1/1 play are there, and doubling up those cheap artifacts is really good. Like, because I think this is going to be a very artifact heavy deck. One that I really like, because token copies of it will also get the indestructible, is Darksteel Axe.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I'll pop that in. So if I think even before some of the ones that, because it's 2 to equipped, but it's got indestructible, which I think is the kicker for this. So there's Dark Steel Axe. I've dropped it in. It is a 1 indestructible enchanted creature, gets +2/+0, and it's equipped to. The equip cost, sure, but having, if you keep attacking with it and duplicating it, having like 7 indestructible artifacts on board eventually, for pluses is pretty darn good.
Should we look at what's the other one?
The Blood Axe,
I forgot what it's called. Bloodforged Battle Axe.
That one that duplicates. I don't think you need it. I did look at it. I didn't add it to mine.
I mean, it's 2. It's 1 and it's 2 to equip, but then you get a free copy of it, and then you'll create, as long as you do damage, you're going to create another 2 copies.
Okay.
But they're not going to be attached, but the other 2 copies, but it got nuts very quickly, I think.
One that I thought was really good, since you're duplicating them, that has a 0 equip cost, let me throw this out there, is Leather Armor. Do you know this one?
Yeah.
It's the D&D card, I think from the first D&D set, which I forgot, Adventures in Forgotten Realms. That's the right name, right?
Yeah, Forgotten Realms, yeah.
Did I put Leather Armor in? Yeah, there it is. Lava Spur, Leather Armor.
One, isn't it?
Yeah. 1 equipped creature gets +0/+1 and has ward 1. And then it's equipped 0. So if you, ward stacks, right?
Yeah, it does.
So I mean, let's say you had like 3 of these on a character, it dies, you pop another one in, you move the 3 to the creature, you've now got a ward 3 creature with a +3 on the back end. I mean,
yeah,
that's too good to pass up as well.
Definitely. Let's have a look. So, because we've got slightly different, so let's have a look. But I had cranial plating in there as well. I don't know if you've seen that.
Okay.
Because again,
we're digging through artifacts right now. Yeah. Let me update these optimized printings real quick. Show optimized printings. 3
creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control.
Okay, cranial plating.
Now this is actually quite good. So it's got the equip one, which isn't too bad. But those 2 swamp equips for attach, it's not an equip cost, so you can do that at instant speed, which you can't normally do with equip costs unless it states. But you can play the 2 swamp, so 2 black mana, and attach it to a target creature you control. So you could do it in response to somebody being blocked or somebody being open with not blocking a creature.
Right.
So you can move them about if you've got the mana.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Oh, this one I thought was it's another protective one, but it's I think the name, the flavor of the card. I almost put this one in my 303, but I didn't. I opted for the hanger back instead. Blinding Powder.
No, I don't know that one. I don't see that one.
Blinding Powder. Let's see. There we go. Blinding Powder. So it's 1. Whoops.
Oh, nice.
Unattached blinding powder, right? Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this creature.
Oh, I like that. It's protection as well.
So but the thing is, so you attack, you declare attacks, you duplicate it, you unattach it before blockers are declared, even, and you can just pop it on somebody else.
Yeah, well, you'd have to. You can only equip as a sorcery, so you would have to wait till after combat.
But I'm saying you have it to pop on somebody else.
Oh,
you know you've then still got one on it for the next time around, and you don't have to pay an equip cost to put it back on.
No.
Because it's then duplicated itself. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought with that was why this, and so you kind of see the pattern I was going for. with looking for these super cheap one-shot kind of protective, and I would almost call it like Arna nuisance would be like the theme you're going for is like, oh, it's just got all these pesky creatures they're just building, and they're like not immune to my removal, but they're just so resilient to it.
Yeah,
that's the goal, but I don't know how well it would actually play out,
I think it'd be all right. The other one I had that would fit would be Fram Power Suit.
Okay.
It's only 2 to cast and 2 to equip, but equip creature gets +1/+1 for each aura equipment attached to it, and it has Ward 2.
Nice.
And then it's got equip 2 as well. So
yeah, that's savage. These commanders are so busted now. This feels like it's in the league of the Obeka. Kind of a bustability. Masterwork of Ingenuity. You need that in this deck.
Yeah, I've got that in here to copy any equipment.
Yeah, I'd pull that up as well. Ingenuity. Now that's been reprinted to death, it's cheap as, I think it's like 32 cents or something like that. So let's pull up Masterwork of Ingenuity for people. 1 cost, and you may have Masterwork of Ingenuity enter the battlefield as a copy of any equipment on the battlefield. Following your Toxic, I had one that added Toxic if we want to keep with that idea.
Go on.
Prosthetic Injector.
Oh, I'm not sure of that one. I didn't look at that.
Let's see. Injector. Prosthetic Injector. There we go. It is and then of course duplicating it, because this one will duplicate, being
and Toxic stacks as well.
Yeah, so enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and has Toxic 1 and it's equip 1 cost.
Yeah.
So again, it's a slow drip win con. It's almost a meme win con. Like if you let somebody win with this, you kind of deserve it. But it's just something you've got to deal with, especially once it starts duplicating itself around.
Yeah. There's a couple as well. What did I think of? For card draw as well. Let's have a quick look.
I thought a Skull Clamp.
See, depends how many 1/1s you're creating, and if you're buffing them up, Skull Clamp's a bit pointless because it won't do anything.
Right.
I was looking at Mask of Memory.
Oh, that Tarian Soul Cleaver rang my bell again. Yeah.
I'll put Mask of Memory in because this is card draw as well.
Skim who? Oh, Mask of Memory. Okay.
Yeah, so it's draw to discard a card so you can filter your hand.
Nice.
But you're drawing 2 cards off something you're doing anyway.
Yeah, as long as you get through.
And if you've got 3 or 4 of them equipped, even to different creatures.
Yeah, stack and draw.
3 or 4 triggers of them.
Yeah.
And I went with this as well. Let's have, if I can never spell it right.
This is a very artifact-heavy deck.
I think we need to count up what the equipment are soon. Because I think once you get to about 10 to 15 equipment, that's... So I've just added in Steronic Resonator. So it's 2. And tap, copy target, trigger ability you control. You may then choose new targets for the copy. So essentially, you can copy the commander's ability. So you can have it on the stack twice.
Okay.
So you get 2 copies, really, basically. Doubles it all up. So if you've got a lot of 1/1 counters on, it'll double it and then double it again.
Okay.
And then create extra token copies and stuff.
Let's see. The only expensive, and I mean $27, so like a quarter of the budget into this one card.
Go on.
Was obviously you're moving counters around. I thought of the Ozolith.
Yeah.
But I think we need to plug everything in
and see
how much we have left room for, and if it's
how many things are actually giving counters.
Right, if it's even worth it.
Because if there's only a couple of things, it's not worth it, is it?
No. So I think we can move on to creatures then to try to slap some of these equipments on.
Yeah.
So we've got the Bruna, which is great. We've got the Goldberry, which I think come in clutch, especially with counters, Hangerback, SRAM, and that guide bot for card draw.
Yeah, so I'd also look at, again, it did. See, for me, I'd pick the creatures going living weapons. So, but there is a couple of good creatures here. And we're going to have a lot of equipment. So the first one I would say is Pure Steel Paladin. This used to be quite an expensive card. It's plummeted.
Okay.
Whenever equipment enters the battlefield, you draw a card. But it's also got Metalcraft. So if you control 3 or more, equipment you have, cost 0 to equip as long as you have 3 or more artifacts.
Yeah, I mean, and we got a ton of that. That's not going to be an issue. This card's perfect for this.
The other one I went with was a little bit of what's it called? Recursion. See if I can spell that right. Archaeomancer. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I'm going up for it. Archaeomancer, where it hasn't dropped in yet.
There we go.
There it is.
It's quite mana heavy, but it returns target.
Oh no, I run this.
Instance. Hold on, this isn't the right one.
Yeah.
No, it's not the right one.
Not the right
Archaeomender.
Archaeomender. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, well, I'm just closing some windows and reopening my list.
Archaeomender.
No, so 3's not bad.
Target artifact from your graveyard to your hand, so it's a bit of recursion, you know.
Well, because they're going to always target the original if they want to target remove something, aren't they?
You would think so. Well, and the other one, which I think, it's a commander on its own. Let's have a look. So again, it gets around a lot of the costs. Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist. 1 and 2 white, 2 and 1 white. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player.
Right.
So, again, anything, it just gets around the equip costs. And you don't have to move everything. And because it's at the beginning of combat, you can move stuff about and then you'll get your commander trigger as well. So you can maybe move stuff off your commanders if there's any copies on there.
Right.
And then your commander will get the copies again, or you know what I mean, if you've got multiple things in play.
Yeah.
Because it's move any. Yeah, so you can move any of them from one to one creature.
Yeah, it's too good not to include again, because I've got some enchantments I'd picked out.
Oh.
I think the pair of Pure Steel and Arden are too good not to include in this. And then obviously I think what rounds it out as the trio is that Goldberry.
Yeah.
Because you then, if you had those on board, you have so much. You wouldn't need an Ozolith because you have so much malleability to where you can just pop whatever you want to put down, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. We're in creatures. Like I said, I went for like low drop creatures that pop in. So I looked originally at a lot of the modular creatures, but I don't think for the sake of this, those really fit.
Modular. No, I see what you mean.
Let's see. That's not one. I looked at the Djinn of Wishes. Let me put that in here. This is a weird one because its cost and its activated ability cost are weird. Like, I almost feel like the ability is fantastic, but it's a bit too pricey for how much the average of our cards is going to come out to.
Yeah.
So it's a 3 and a 2 blue, flying Djinn, but it's got enters with 3 wishes counters on it, and you pay to remove a wish counter, and then you reveal the top card of your library. You can play without paying a mana cost. But I feel like with the amount of card draw we'll put in, it kind of becomes redundant.
Yeah.
The fact that it'll get more than 3 wishes if all goes right is cool, but I don't think it's gonna. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that.
So I'll move that out.
What about? I don't know.
I liked this one, but again, it's a bit pricey. It's a 5-drop as well. Drake's Town Forgotten.
No, go
on. Okay, we'll pop that in. Drake's Town Forgotten are a 4 and 1 black creature zombie. Drake's Town Forgotten enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards.
Okay.
So that could be good. And then 2, remove a counter, and the target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So you kind of get like, I wouldn't call 3 for a 1/1 removal. But you get a creature. I'm not really worried about that secondary ability. You get a creature that's only going to grow in size. Well, it comes in hopefully fairly large and then grows in size. But also that we'll keep that in mind. But I'm going to remove it because it's another one that I don't think actually works.
I've just noticed as well. I've just had a quick sort through everything. I've changed it to mana value. We have a lot of all our artifacts are under 3 mana, so maybe we should be looking at a Sun Titan as well.
Okay.
Just because
pop him in there. He'll definitely put in work at that rate. Well, like I said, I only looked, like, literally, if you look at the ones I've suggested, other than the signets, all of the ones I suggested are 1-drop items.
Yeah.
I only looked at 1-drop equipments.
No, that's fine. I was looking at something else there, but that's not going to fit now.
My idea was, like I said, I wanted to hopefully start popping off by the time Arna may hit the battlefield. My board was already set up for him.
Another one I seen was Deadeye Quartermaster.
Let me get Sun Titan up real quick. So for those who don't know Sun Titan,
apologies.
Shout out to Aurora Sun, band in England. I gotta make you guys an altar of this. 4 and 2 white, creature giant, vigilance. When Sun Titan enters the battlefield, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, that's good.
Just added Deadeye Quartermaster. When it ETBs, you may search your library for an equipment or vehicle, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library, which does make me think of this as well. But I don't. Is it this one? I think I give you my copy of this.
Maybe.
Stonehewer Giant.
Stonehewer Giant. That does not sound familiar. Oh, you did. Yes, you did. That was a while. That was a long time ago. That was when I was trying to build the
Zergo.
The Zergo. Yeah.
So Vigilance. I mean, again, it's 5 mana, but this is probably going to be where the 5 mana stuff stops now. Search your library for an equipment card, put it into the battlefield, attached to a creature you control, then shuffle your library.
Yeah.
It's Vigilant, and it's 1 in a plain, 1 in a white.
Too good.
Tap. So you can even attack, and then in response to more blockers or damage, you can activate it and get something into the battlefield before damage is dealt.
Okay. One that I kind of like, they're just so expensive. It's also a 4-drop.
It's not too bad.
More's not too bad. Is Grey Host Reinforcements. Because it has utility, and then it pops itself counters. Grey Host Reinforcements. There we go. Grey Host Reinforcements, 3 and a white, Spirit Soldier, flying, ward 3. When Greyhost reinforcements ETBs exile target player's graveyard, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of creature cards exiled this way.
I like that.
Gets rid of those pesky zombie players' graveyards, or lately it's been the Myco Tyrant who's been doing that to me.
Yeah.
Gets rid of their graveyard, and then obviously you get something with a bunch of counters in Ward 3. I really liked that one. Let's see. Hangerback's in. Ooh. It's not that good. It's a 1-drop creature, and it only put it in here because I remember the art from when I was a kid. This is a sidetrack down memory lane. Do you mind? Okay. Sorry.
So what's building the deck's about as well?
Location and Money Changer. You'll remember this art, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Not this art. This is not the art that I remember. That's not the art I'm talking about. But that's one of them. So it's 1 white, summon townsfolk. Back when cards said summon. Oh, geez. Money Changer deals 3 damage to you. When summoned, put 3 credit counters on it. So you'll get credit counters each time it does its thing. That's one of them I remember, that art. But the other one's the guy with his hand on the table. Where is it? You'll find it, I'm sure. It's the 14-cent one. It should be the cheapest one. Nope, not that guy. Anyways, yes, that's the guy. That's the one. During your upkeep, put 1 credit counter on Money Changer. 0, sacrifice Money Changer to gain 1 life for each counter on it. Use this ability during your upkeep. So you'll kind of just be banking.
What's that in real language now?
So
allocation money.
Yeah. Ingenious Prodigy was another card I looked at.
Yeah. Let me see if I can bring this up. Why can't I spell like?
That's I think that one's a good one. I'll pop that in while you look up the new language on Occasion Money Changer. Genius Prodigy. There we go. Ingenious Prodigy, X and 1. Creature, human wizard, Skulk. Ingenious Prodigy enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. At the beginning of upkeep, Ingenious Prodigy has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it. You remove a +1/+1 counter from it and draw a card. If you do draw a card. So it's also, again, card draw on a stick.
So Occasion Money Changer, let's have a look, I've got it here. Enters a battlefield with 3 credit counters on it, new line. When it enters a battlefield, it deals 3 damage to you. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a credit counter on Occasion Money Changer. Then it's just missing the 0, really. Sacrifice Occasion Money Changer, colon. As an ability, you may gain 1 life for each. Oh, no, you gain 1 life for each credit counter on Occasion Money Changer. Activate only during your upkeep.
You should be getting 2 a turn if you can attack with it. Or if you attack with something else. You don't have to attack with it.
No.
Oh, no, it has to be.
It does have to attack.
Yeah. So, even though it's not going to do any damage to them, they got to, you'll choose the right occasions for it. But with the right equipment, it can be heavy as well, Then you can always sack it in response.
Yeah.
That one's not great. I looked at Machias the Lunarch, but I don't think that one's very good for this. New Scrap's too expensive.
I tell you what I did put in. I don't know. Let's have a look. Creatures. We're not too bad. I like this card in general.
Which one?
Mirror Entity.
Mirror Entity.
Oh, yeah. It's a changeling. You get to pay X, and then all creatures get XX base power and toughness, and getting all creature types. Right. So it's literally a massive buff, whatever's on your board.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, then all the equipment modifications on top of it, and the 1/1 counters. So, yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. That's not bad. I was also looking at Nixless the Fallen, but that's an $8 card.
Which is that? Yeah, let's stick it there. We can always remember.
We can always look at it. Yeah, if it's what are we up to now? We're only at $33, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're way under. Nixless the Fallen. There he is. Okay, Nixless the Fallen, right under your Mirror Entity, 3 and 2 black, legendary creature demon, landfall. When a land enters a battlefield under your control, you may have target player lose 3 life. If you do, put 3 +1/+1 counters on Nixless the Fallen.
Yeah, it's going to get big quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd hope.
There's one equipment I would like, but it's not priced
But I don't know if that's $8 good. It says 12 on here, but there's a copy for 8.
I've just added it in. It's a bit of a big drop. It's a 5-drop and a free equip. But
Nazgul
Battle Mace. Oh, it's showing us 336, so it's not bad. The equipped creature has Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1. And whenever an opponent sacrifices a permanent, put that card onto the battlefield under your control, unless that player pays free life.
Yeah, that's especially if that doubles. Oh my gosh.
So Annihilator 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Yeah. And every trigger on that Annihilator, they've got to either pay free life or give you something.
Yeah.
I mean, I did look at...
That's brutal. That's brutal.
Andrew Narsil Reforged. But it's a legendary equipment. So the problem with the legendary equipment is you wouldn't get to keep the copies because of the legendary rule. So I tried to avoid that if I could. What else did I put in? Staggering Insight, but that was mainly for card draw. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Sorry.
Ooh. There's a creature, the Sanctuary Warden, entering with 2 shield counters. I was looking at.
Yeah.
Do you know that
I
one?
looked at what's it called? Diamond City, the land.
Okay.
I had that in there.
The lands, if we took a break real quick from creatures for a sec, the only land I put on mine is Nesting Grounds.
I don't think I had that. Yeah, Nesting Grounds.
I'll pop that on real quick.
And the thing is, I don't think we need to be too active with lands. It's just, people can build the land base.
Yeah, I think
it's just giving it a base, isn't it, really? Another one I went with, though, was Opal Palace.
Opal Palace? Okay. You popping that in?
Yeah, right in. Only because it's have 1 mana of any colour. It's 1 and tap and have 1 mana of any colour. Your commander's identity. If you spend this to cast your commander, it gets a +1 counter.
Right.
Equals the number of times it's been cast from the command zone.
Nice.
So even if you just use it once for the first time you cast him, you're giving that
That's
+1
that John
counter.
Avon art, isn't it? Yeah, it's nuts, man. Look at that.
What's that one?
No, that Opal Palace, that John Avon art.
Yeah.
It's a really nice guy. Met him down in what's it called?
Barcelona, was it?
In Barcelona, yeah. Real.
So what are we up to card-wise?
We're still pretty low, and I don't think I've even optimized the printings yet.
No. See, I've only got 3 sorceries as well.
I didn't have many sorceries. Let me see.
Got Open the Armory.
I've got 5. I didn't choose Open the Armory. I've got 1 though that's like.
I think there's a lot of tutors in there with the creatures though now.
No, I didn't. I only had 5 in here, and none of them are tutors. But one of them's real expensive. One of them's like $16. But it's
Go on, which is that one?
That's Damning Verdict. It's basically destroys creatures with no counters on them, but we're not running all counter creatures.
No.
So that wouldn't really help. Let's see. That was a joke. Let's see.
A removal package or interaction. I kind of built like we did with who was it? We built Magnus when it was semi-removal, but a lot more protection.
Okay.
Like counter spells and counter sweep with some targeted removal in there.
In the instance.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to pause? We can pause on creatures for a second because we got quite a few. We got 16. I think we can hold off on creatures for a second in case there's anything. Let me just double check that there's nothing I absolutely felt needed to be in here and was missed. Oh, there's one card I really want to put in here, but
go on.
Maybe it's not. Maybe we can find something to remove it if 16, 17 creatures are going to be too much.
No, I don't think they will because we're not going to be as
Simic Manipulator.
All right, I'm not sure of that one to be honest.
I thought this would piss people off. So Simic Manipulator, 1 and 2 blue, creature mutant, evolve. Whenever the creature enters, if it had greater power, put a +1/+1 on this creature, which will be basically everything. So remove 1 or more +1/+1 counters from Simic Manipulator and gain control of target creature with power or less to equal than the number of +1 counters removed this way.
Yeah, I like that. Start putting some of the instant suite in what I did. Okay. So an offer you can't refuse, obviously.
Yeah.
Counter.
Treasure, ramp, counter ramp.
I mean, yeah.
Or they get the ramp.
They get the treasure, but it's a counter. I put slip out the back in.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that a few times by mistake.
Hey.
That's what she said. It's just protection, isn't it? It phases you out. Tainted Strike.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bit of a combat trick. Maybe they don't expect that you're going to have something to kill them. But then you can just infect somebody out. You can't tell what kind of play groups we used to play with, Dawson, can't you?
Yeah, right.
Counterspell.
Counterspell, of course. Negate's got to be in there.
Of course it is.
Negate's so important.
De-Spark. Dovin's Veto. I like this one. Again, it's a great counter. Fracture.
Yeah, De-Spark's too good.
Gates.
Well, I think Swords to Plowshares, or what's the other one, is better than De-Spark, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Swords to Plowshares is just a creature. This is permanent. So to me, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from with that. Yeah, it's more versatile. That's fair.
I mean,
Dovin's Veto. Dovin's Veto. Of course. No. You're fine. I'm just reading through the suite. I'll get to my instance in a sec. I think I had completely different ones.
Sisters Reunited.
I may have had that Tainted Strike though, actually.
Anguished. This is one of my favourite removal spells in the game. Anguished Unmaking.
Which one? Oh.
Anguished Unmaking.
Anguished Unmaking. Okay.
One in thingy.
One in Orzhov. Exile target non-land permanent. You lose 3 life.
Yeah.
Like
this one, the next one is Grip of Pheresis. It's just if somebody else is using equipments, you know, everybody tends to have an equipment out at some description. Even if somebody gets their lightning greaves out before you.
Yeah.
Scroll shifter just for if somebody tries to remove one of your equipment pieces, it's protection for it.
Which one was scroll shift? Okay, gotcha.
Have I put that in? Yeah. I like this one. I mean, this one, I'm not taking credit for this one. This is coming from Bob. Soul Shatter. Because there's a lot of ward about at the moment. This is actually quite powerful. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
So you can if it's at the top of their mana value, then you can get to the one you want.
Yeah, this one is another personal favourite to get around board.
Right.
Spell can't be countered. Void Rend, destroy target non-land permanent.
Void Rend. Wait, where is it?
Void Rend.
Oh,
I did have another, but it's not going to work. It's called Mirror Weave, and what you do.
We're at 92 cards, real quick.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad actually, because that's
okay.
Pretty much the enchantment suite.
Well, let me optimize printings real quick. See what money value we're at. Override the 6. $58. 8 cards to go. I've got some sorceries in here.
Yeah, I'll just add 2 sorceries.
Some sorceries and instants. I only had 3 instants. Let me look at them.
I've just added Supreme Verdict.
One that we need for this, an instant, because I think it will come in handy, is Fate Transfer.
Oh, go on. Which is that one?
Well, and it's cheap as well. Let's see, Fate Transfer. This one I was like, this is kind of like a must-have, especially with the direction I was building it. It is a 1 and a blue or black. It's an instant. Move all counters from target creature onto another target creature.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So either if you have a character or creature that's about to get murdered, you can take the counters off and put them somewhere else real quick. Or if somebody else has a lot of counters you really want, you can take those real quick. And you can do it at instant speed. So that was one I was really into, was the Fate Transfer. Let's see. Yeah, this was a removal. It may have to replace one of your removals if we have too many. But I'll put it out here for a second, just because it kind of, as you were saying, it kind of serves a double purpose. It's expensive for removal, but it does have a second half. Asterion's Thirst.
Well, it's only 3 mana.
So 3 in a black instant. Exile target creature. Then put X counters on a commander creature you control, where X is the power of the creature exiled this way.
Yeah, I like that.
So if it's big enough, I mean, like if you exile a Crater Hoof or something, you know, like
yeah.
You know,
you could do it at instant speed in response to somebody else making something bigger.
Right. So then, you know, I think it's good. Those are the other instant really doesn't work that great because we have a lot of protection out. It was Undying Evil, but that really doesn't matter. My sorceries, was there anything in there that's necessary? Oh, there's one I really liked. I almost put it in my 3. Are we at sorceries yet? Or you?
Yeah, for it. I've added 2. But they were just sort of
generic
command.
Yeah.
Supreme Verdict, and
course.
Austere Command.
Austere Command, 4/2 white, sorcery, choose to destroy all creatures, or destroy all enchantments, or destroy all creatures. Yeah, that's, Supreme Verdict. Yeah, a couple of board wipes to reset. Always good.
And hopefully you can make yours indestructible, or you can slip them out the back to avoid it, or, stuff like that.
The one sorcery I have that I think, and it's from Outlaws, is one of those spree cards.
Oh, yeah.
Requisition Raid.
Oh, see, I like this.
So it's the one, and then the three sprees are for one, destroy an artifact, one, destroy an enchantment, or one, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature a player controls. And that was the one where I was like, oh, I like this for this deck.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Then the other ones, they're just kind of memey, man. I was thinking of Heroes Remembered as a meme, the suspend 10 and gain 20 life. But I was like, it's just being a dick. Yeah.
I don't know if
that's the only one that for sure I think fits. And then I have 10 enchantments I've written down.
Well, what have you got in enchantments? Because I was quite enchantment line.
So we're gonna end up over quite a few cards, but I'll only pick the ones I think really matter at duplication. Well, I think this one's really good, especially for the cost and the effect it ETBs with, since it'll create another one that'll ETB. Glaring Aegis.
Once again.
That's what she said. Glaring Aegis. 1 white enchantment aura, enchant creature. When Glaring Aegis enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +1/+3.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
So where are the enchantments? Are they all the way down here? Where did they go? Did he pop in? Oh, so right next to your Phyresis.
The only other one I liked, really, I don't know if you picked it or not.
I had Kaya's Ghost Form on here, but I don't know if you think that fits or not, or you think we have enough.
It is protection, isn't it?
Yeah, but also Gift of Immortality, I think, would fit as well.
You could do both.
Yeah, Gift of Immortality.
The only thing I didn't like about the enchantments as I started to build more into it was that you're only enchanting the enchanted creature.
Yeah, you can't really move them. The thing about Kaya's Ghost Form is it's when the creature dies, it'll come back.
And the thing is, we do have ways of moving them with things like Arden and stuff like that. But we need them out. So I didn't really go enchantment heavy. I did have things like...
I think Kaya's Ghost Form is better than Gift, because Gift is 3 and Kaya's 1. So it's well worth it for 1. What was this one? Idolized. Okay, it's a... What is it?
So whenever this creature attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until the end of turn, where X is a number of non-land permanents you control.
Oof. And that could be beefy if we've been in a grindy game.
Yeah. So on the trigger, you wouldn't see the extra permanents that come into play through the token generation, but you would the next turn, and you would see them the turn after, because,
Resourceful Defense, I think, is necessary for this deck. Resourceful Defense. 2 and a white. Whenever a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counter on target permanent you control. Or 4 and a white. Move any number of counters from target permanent you control to another target permanent you control.
Yeah.
I think that comes in handy. Yeah, that's good, but again, you can't move it. That's the only problem with these things, is where I like the equipment, the low-cost equipment, especially with the 0 equip cost, like that leather armor.
Yeah.
Where you could just whack it onto something for free. The fact that you can't move the equipment really gets to me. Sentinel Eyes isn't really worth it. Oh, this one. Here's another one I think is quite essential. We're at 101 cards. Let's
see, I know a card I want to drop, and it was one of my free for free because it's gone a different way.
Okay.
And I think that's all right.
All right, so right now we've got, I added Sigil of Sleep. 1 blue or an enchant aura. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to a player, return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand.
Yeah.
That will trigger for each time it's attached, correct?
Yeah.
So that's so this is one where, unlike the Kaya's ghost form, where it's going to come back anyways. Doubling the enchantment won't matter. Doubling this aura, you then so I've got this aura 3 times on something with ward 6. I attack you, and now you're dropping 3 creatures to your hand, and I'm creating a 4th copy of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if let's do a quick count of how many 1/1 counter creatures we have in here.
Well, I would suggest as well, I know it's going to take us over, but Feldar Retreat.
Is this a land?
It's an enchantment with landfall. So it does both what we need to do. It creates as creatures. So whenever a land DTBs, you create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token. Or you can put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we're not really looking.
I was looking at.
We're not going to be tutoring. We're not going to be fetching loads. But if you can drop it, and then you've got 3 or 4 creatures in play, and you can drop a land and give everything +1, and then double them again.
Okay.
It's going to see some effect, isn't it?
That's really good. I was looking at the Flesh is Weak as an enchantment, but I don't think it works for this. And then a really expensive one that I was looking at, not as expensive as the Ozolith, but I think is just as worthy as the Ozolith in this moment, because we have so much space left, is Virtue of Loyalty.
I was just looking at that one. Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Oh, of course, I misspelled loyalty. I'm glad people can see me type. See why I'm not in clerical work. Virtue of Loyalty, 3 and 2 white. It's got the enchantment with the instant adventure for 1 and a white, where you create a 2/2 white knight vigilance with white knight token with vigilance, and then the enchantment side of it is at the beginning of your end step. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Untap those creatures. I think that's too good, and not to include.
So given the way we've gone, I think we should be dropping Bruna.
Dropping Bruna.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 6 drop, but
right.
It's looking too much at enchantments, and we've got more equipment.
Right, much more. How is our land base at the moment? It's a bit off.
It's not too bad. Let's do some changes. Let me just edit it a little bit. It's not massively bad.
Our curve is beautiful.
It's all 3 drops, isn't it? So land base. Let's do the basics.
2 drops.
I don't like these, but it's a budget. It works. Arcane Sanctum. It comes into play tap, but it taps for Esper.
Okay.
We're in Esper, so we've got to have a Bajuka Bog.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if I put it in, actually. Did I put this in? I didn't. Diamond City.
Let me double check the optimization up here. I believe we're only at $77, man. We've still got $20 worth of space over the top of this if there's something you absolutely feel we need, but I don't really feel we do.
Let's have a look. I mean, the only other way I would...
I think we've snapped in quite a lot of card draw, quite a lot of not recursion, quite a lot of removal, quite a lot of counter, all of the artifacts.
And I'll fix the land a little bit. So I'm going to stick a Rogue's Passage in there.
Okay.
I'm going to stick a Scavenger Ground, just because it removes something if you need to.
Right.
I can't see. I'm doing your job. I work in that admin and that bloody can't spell. Scavenger Grounds. I did go with the temples, but I'm not really bothered. Because it's Scry lands, isn't it? So we've got 44 lands. Let's have a look. So we want a bit more white and we want less black. Okay, so we'll take 4 out of there. We'll take 1, 2, 4 out of there. Where are we up to? 37. Take 1 out of there. Put 1 back into that. The land base isn't looking too bad. I could probably do with some more planes, but I think we've got enough colours to get there.
Seems pretty good. The distribution looks versus cost versus production looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could probably
most of our stuff is colorless, funny enough.
I know, so we're all right with that. So I've dropped Bruno. What are we up to now, card-wise? 103.
103. Let's see.
I don't think creature-wise. I mean, the only... Like you said, Obnixilis, is it worth it at 8 quid?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to put in the kind of work you're going to expect from a $10. Well, on here it's $10 from a $10 card.
And again, it's not a landfall deck, is it? So
no.
It's a good effect. I do like the effect a lot.
And then we're still 15 creatures, which is really good. And a
2
lot.
Cards. See, the only one I would think about is it's 2 of my 3 for free, but it's because we've gone a different way. Is the Phyresis in Enchantments, just 1 of a black. Drop the Infect, because we've got it on a couple of other things. I think that's okay to cool. I think that's cool to go.
Well, that's up to you, because that's your...
yeah.
That's your,
and that's it. And I think that's it, is the beauty of it, because certain things do change. The game state, as you build a deck, what you had in mind when you started is probably completely different
where you end up.
Especially when 2 people are doing it as well.
Man, I can't believe that's made its way into a deck. Holy buckets.
Which one?
The Occasion Money Changer. I can't even believe that's in there.
I think that's got to stay for the last.
It's so cool. It's like, I mean...
It's counters, it matters.
Right. It's just such a different card, man. Instant sorceries. I feel like we've got.
I think there may be Feldar Retreat, because
I think Feldar Retreat is good, man. I know it's a landfall trigger. I think it's good. I think it's good.
I suppose you've got 2. You've got a backup there. You've got Virtual Loyalty and Feldar Retreat doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's good. Because if you had both those on board and you were popping a land down and getting stuff at the end of the turn, it's heavy.
Yeah.
It feels really, the pairing will feel really heavy to it'll feel like somebody's had a big turn even though all that's happened is a land has come into play.
These counters go on, especially if you do it before your combat step, and then all those counters are doubled.
Yeah.
Especially if you attack, anyway, and especially with things like Hangerback Walker.
Where's our so we've got
we need to drop
land.
1 card.
Where's our ramp count at? We're not running a spell ramp.
Spell ramp you don't really get in these colours, do you, as such, but the curve's low, so we've got Soul Ring Signets, well, all the Signets, Mind Stone, Chromatic Lantern, Decanter of Endless Water. So this 1, 2,
7, 8,
5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 9?
No, we got 9.
Right,
so that puts us right at 45. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
And again, because the curve's low,
we could
it
drop
is
one.
Colour, so it does need to be higher, but it is 3 colours. And a lot of the card draw is on creatures, and it is on you doing what you're going to be doing anyway. So you should be playing the artifacts, you should be getting the card draw from things like SRAM. It's not like impulse draw like in some of the other decks.
Yeah.
Where, you cast a village right, sack a creature, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life.
Do you think we're okay to drop a rock then?
I don't know.
No.
So let's have a look.
We could always drop this Asterion's Thirst, though, too. It is a 4.
I like that, though. I really like that. 5 grand I would keep. What about Scroll, Shift, or Gripper for ECs? Are we really bothered about creating that germ token? A lot of people don't run other equipments. It's just a bit of a... It's like, haha, look what I can do. It's not...
I think the Scroll Shift, unfortunately, might be the one, because I think it's going to be more instrumental to save an artifact than it is to draw a card.
Yeah.
But you're going to be very unlikely to have 3 mana available to do it with.
Yeah. I'd say Scroll Shift. I'd be easy with that.
Yeah. Okay. Then that puts us at 100?
Yeah.
Oh. This is again, I wish I was like a billionaire, man, because I would definitely buy the lot of these decks we've made and pair them against each other. I want to see this play Obeka really, really badly in a 4-pod and see where it goes.
See, I think Obeka, that's just a different level, isn't it?
Man, I've seen it, and the thing is, I think everybody I've seen playing versus it is so afraid of Obeka that it just gets removed, and all their pieces, they've been like, I've only seen it play in person once and seen it play on streams maybe 4 or 5 times. Every time the person just gets overloaded with hate from the jump out of fear, and then somebody else ends up, you know how it goes. Somebody's got that new threatening thing that nobody really fully understands that Pace is going to work at. They all attack them, and then that person, somebody in the background who's just been really quiet, ends up sneaking off with the win because nobody's paying attention to them. This is cool, man. This is a cool
I do quite like this. I think I'm going to look at building this in some form. I can't quite settle. The way I've done it is different to this, and I like this.
I like this.
Because I went with the living weapons and all that sort of stuff, but I do like this.
That
but I also
guide bot.
I've seen somebody on stream do enchantments, and that was amazing as well.
The only thing is, I think much like we were discussing is like certain enchantments. I think will have a better, certain auras will have a better value rate with the commander's ability than others. So, like, for example, like that Sigil of Sleep. I mean, for $1 card that you're going to replicate, that could potentially be a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas, like, Kaya's Ghost Form, it duplicating won't mean anything.
But Glaring Aegis will.
Glaring Aegis, each time it comes in, tapping a creature, and then the buff is cool, especially for a 1-drop.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Because, like, pre-combat main phase, somebody's sitting there thinking they're all protected. You pop it in, tap their creature, and it's like, oh, shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. It's just, it's great.
They've got their 1 flyer, and they think they're going to be safe against Arna. I think Arna's lifelink will come in handy if you pop enough
Yeah, I mean,
enough crap on him.
Even just getting 4 life back, it's not to be sniffed at, is it? And then that could, again, things that we could improve.
Seven and only no. Do you know one of the things? Because remember, I said I was looking at everything in the deck that I was going to throw in being really low cost.
Yeah.
Another commander creature that I was throwing in here was Zur the Enchanter.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of stacking it up with a bunch of similar like one drop enchantments, but that's if you pull Zur and if you get the value off of them,
Yeah.
Because if you had Zur for whoever's doing it, because how they have like the Pride Month kind of ruling going on with the EDH that they're allowing any partners for commanders.
Yeah, all legendary creatures or something, is it?
Yeah, for the month of June. Yeah, Arna and Zur together would be. Oh man, that would be gangster.
God, yeah.
That would be so rough. I mean, you just pop Zur out first, stacks your board up. Pop Arna out and then pop off, and it just be like,
oh yeah,
thanks for coming out.
Just trying to think what someone else is building in with a lifelink as a bit of an upgrade would be what's it called? Is it someone where you can spend 50 life and like deal 50 damage to somebody? What's it called?
Oh, I don't know. It's virtual loyalty though. But I had that one where you could gain 20 life. That one drop. That's 8, like a 9 cost spell that has like the one. What the hell was it called? You know the one I'm talking about though, right?
No.
It's as
we do know Magic. We do know the cards.
It's as you say, a meme card. It's just it's a terrible joke. I can't believe it's a card. It's like the kind of card I'd suggest. Speaking of Gavin Verhey, how do you say his name?
Yeah, Verhey.
It's a sorcery. It's a sorcery. He's running an event at MagicCon. I'm hoping to be able to get into because it's free, but it fills up. So I'll probably be like waiting there like an hour ahead of time. Heroes Remembered. It's a sorcery. It's not an enchantment. I'll pop it in. Put us over cards one more time.
It's just annoying me so much.
It is a 9-drop. Heroes Remembered. Sorcery. 6 and 3 white. Sorcery. You gain 20 life. Suspend 10 for 1. And I was looking at this and I was like, why not? Just drop it out there with the suspend 1 early doors and see if you get there. I mean, if you got that first turn and you put it down, you might end up winning the game with the life total change later in the game. Who knew?
Yeah, and if you can remove counters, that would actually be really good.
Well, that was this card. Only the other thing is it's not a permanent. So if it was, you could do it with other stuff in here. But it's not. Yeah, and shoot, we're way under budget, man. We're only at let me do this one last time. Optimize the printings. Overwrite 6 cards. We're at $69.
Oof.
So I mean.
What would you add as an upgrade then? For me, it would probably be token doublers to get extra copies of the things you're bringing into play.
I would probably make the mana faster if you could with that $30. Is that possible? Put some duels. Put some nice duels in. Yeah,
I mean you could. I mean at the moment with all the reprints, a lot of you can get the Pain lands, shock lands.
Can we drop them in? We can drop them in real quick. Why not? We got $30 worth of space. We might as well do it.
Yeah.
We'll drop some pain.
I brought they all are in these colours now. Never mind.
That's easy enough to Google. Okay, you get the pain lands and I'll get the gain lands. I'll look up the Esper gain lands. I think Google might be able to help me out here.
Grind. I think it's Watery Grave. Yeah.
Dual Lands Guide. Look at that. How nice of them. Gain lands.
But that's taking it to 102.
Oh, with just the pain lands.
Yeah.
Oh wait, well let's see if we can get it down with the printings. Optimize printings. Show optimize. Overwrite 3 cards. $98. Look at that.
And that's yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Buy some pain lands and get yourself there. Watery Grave. Nice. We use it. We're using way more money there. That just shows you. Through it, we had 3 lands.
Yeah, 30 quid, $30.
$30. Wow.
That's where the world is.
That's ridiculous. What are we doing with our lives, John?
I don't have many of them, but
yeah,
I have all the ones I need.
Yeah, man. My Oh, by the way, for those who have bared with us and watched this far, or watched the majority of this, let us know if you buy these decks, use these decks as a guide for building decks, anything like that, because we're just curious on getting feedback of what people do with them. And then if you have a suggestion for a future deck build, please let us know. We have a blast with this.
I've got the card, Aetherflux Reservoir. That's what it is.
How much is that?
It's 11 quid, but it's only really good if you're gaining loads of life. But then you can... Which you probably could use in this deck, to be honest. It'll probably work.
This thing, man.
Just based on the commander and doubling all the equipment, and then next thing you know, he's like a 20/20, and you're taking somebody out on turn 6 through commander damage. Yeah.
I think my favorite card, and it keeps showing up because it's just at the bottom alphabetically of the creatures, is that Tawashi Guidebot.
Yeah, he's good.
I think that...
For me, yeah, it's the Nazgul Battle Mace.
Oh, yeah. That I think might be like... Not necessarily a win con, but a card that puts you over. I think the win con in this is just the resilience of it.
I mean, you're not getting anything off it apart from Menace and Death Touch and Annihilator 1, and it's the Annihilator and you've got it, isn't it?
Repeat that. You're not getting much off of it besides Menace, Death Touch, and Annihilator.
You're not getting any pluses out of it, are you, though?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean, but still, I mean, yeah, that's a mean one. It's only $3. I gotta put that in Slicer, man.
Oh, yeah, it's cheap.
I gotta put that in Slicer.
You might even be able to pick it up in Amsterdam.
Yeah, well, the thing I've done with the cons I've been to is each con I buy a foil stacks piece. So I got a foil Winter Orb in the Czech Republic, a foil Trinisphere in Germany, and that foil Grand Arbiter in Barcelona.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what I get this time around. But yeah. I'm down to keep chatting if you are, but I'm going to at least sign off the...
Yeah.
So
probably got another
thanks for jumping in and checking this out and building this with us, guys. We'll hopefully catch you next time. Again, if you have a deck you want us to build, throw it in the comments. Take care.